fidget toys and I'm mad about it.
Which token?
This one. It sounds real good.
Oh yeah. I also like just hitting R or F to bounce things.
I mean, I'm just bouncing it by clicking it, and it's real good.
Hit F to flip something like this.
All you
You
need
need
to
to go real high.
All you need for this fidget toy is a computer and a monitor and a desk and a mouse.
That's not true. You could do it with just a laptop.
And Steam. Okay, I mean, if someone just gave me an application that had that one token on it, my life would improve.
I mean, I can make that version of Tabletop Sim and put it up for easy download for you.
Mm-hmm. He does have the technology and the power.
Yes. Just post
I have
it
the
on
power.
just post it on Steam Workshop as ADHD cure.
Yeah. Best fidget toys. What does it do? Nothing. That's the best part.
Are we live?
We are live, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Just for those of you who missed it or are just getting here now, I have had a shit day. I have just gotten food and water, and I am in crunch mode, so I am ready to fight God or crash into the ocean trying.
Do what I do and drown your sorrows in plastic robot toys.
Later! I have to drown all of you first. How else will you level up?
Well,
doesn't he have to print those first? He has to fire up the printer and make them go burr.
It's true. All right. Here we go. The Shrouded Marshal has summoned you to the library of the Grand Airy. It's a labyrinth of shells and scrolls, crumbling parchments dating back to the days before the Empire. You find Winter at the heart of it, at a table laden with tomes and papers. Her expression is grim, and she holds up a sheet of paper that glitters and gleams in the firelight. The edges of the parchment are gilded, and the ink itself is made from gold. The seal on the bottom shimmers and glows with a mystic light. This is a missive from the near Hadian vault of Coratan. Are any of you familiar with it?
Looking over at Salamander.
Yeah, can I assume I know about it?
So Shrouded Phoenixes would know about it, and I am pretty sure Salamander knows about it.
Salamander shifts a little uncomfortably and says, I do.
For those of you who are not personally aware, I'm sure you've all heard the stories. The invincible kingdom of gold, the only nation never conquered by the Empire. The Atons live in a vast network of tunnels and vaults carved through the Golden Mountains. They have little interest in the outside world, and they're secure enough in their holes that even the first phoenixes couldn't dig them out. While the Empire's been trading with them for centuries, it's rare for them to open the deep gates to outsiders. But that's what they're doing now. Winter taps the gilded parchment. This is a demand for reparations from House Nerandy. They blame a phoenix for some sort of misfortune that has recently befallen their house, and assume we are responsible for all phoenixes. There is little information on the supposed crime, but they do identify the phoenix, a shrouded named Omen.
That would be the man who killed me.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one who you said was dead?
He should be.
Suddenly I'm regretting our wing name choice.
As am I.
Well, the world has a way of forgetting the shrouded. Memories fade, written accounts disappear, details change. His phoenixes were resistant to the effect, but we aren't completely immune. A phoenix named Omen was my teacher, and we served together for over a century, but I still can't remember his face.
But you're coming around to the idea that I wasn't killed by a ghost.
You were killed by someone with an agenda, that much is clear. I don't know whether it being him or somebody using his name is worse. I'm about to let you all in on some very privileged information.
Pout gets closer, you can hear his feet. As
How much do each of you know? Oh, sorry.
No, that was it.
How much do each of you know of the end of the Civil War?
Yeah, can I make a check?
Yeah, sure. You probably just know, Ziggy.
All right, sounds good
yeah.
to me. Yeah, I have tradition, so I assume.
Yes, and given your backstory and place of origin, this is something you probably would have studied.
I know a lot of songs that are hilariously inaccurate.
So the public version of how the Civil War ended is the Phoenixes stood down. The Phoenixes stood down and called for peace after the factions in the Civil War were causing too much collateral damage to the civilian populace. And the Empress decided to end her own life as a gesture to end her seventh life as a gesture to end the conflict fully.
Feeling something else happened from what you're saying.
Empress Justice didn't end her life. Omen killed her. He planned to undo her actions and to continue the war until the bitter end. We changed the story so others wouldn't be emboldened by his actions. And it seems a few Phoenixes have taken up his banner. Whoever is using his name in court on... I don't know... somebody's using his name in court on, and I don't know what these people want, or how many of them are out there. The dread is threat enough without rogue Phoenixes causing trouble. And before you say anything, I saw Omen's final death. It was Cinder who burned him and finally brought him down. He tested the ashes himself to make sure this wasn't kind of some shrouded deception. Omen is gone and someone is using his name. I need to know who and why.
Are you absolutely certain? We seem to have had a great deal of experience lately with the dead not content with staying such.
That is an awful thought if he could be one of the, like, a Bones.
At this rate, it seems the most likely option.
So one of the other side effects, real quick, is because I was crunching all day and didn't have time to go over things. I will be checking my notes and book constantly if pauses develop. I apologize.
Sure.
If that happens,
take your time.
Yeah, if you want, I have a roleplay story that I need to talk to Salamander about.
So I'm gonna start a timer here, and let you guys ask questions. And either when you guys are done with questions, or it goes off, we'll move on to the next bit.
Okay.
Well, one of my questions is going to be, okay, well, if he is a Bones, we know he died by burning, so looks to Salamander a bit for that. Oh, actually, Salamander a bit. We also figured out how to stop the Bones, sort of.
Oh, really?
They're all one spirit ghost that's incredibly powerful, dreaming up something.
All right.
And, like, almost all of them aren't real, and that's why they're immortal.
Wow. So we can stop them now.
Oh, we know of that. Actually, Winter,
Yes, Hunter.
if someone's faking, there's an easy way to prove that, right? What was his talon before? That stays with you.
It was a cloak.
That raises an interesting question, though. Does it stay with you if you become one of the Dread?
Well, the Bones still had his old armor and weapons.
Yes, but that was an echo of who he was. I do not think it had the same abilities that a talon grants you.
Well, no, but wouldn't it look the same?
As an echo, the question is whether it would still be the same talent. From what we've seen, the Dread seem to just mimic what they looked like in life, not so much their abilities.
To be frank, the three of you are probably now the Dalit world's foremost experts on the bones, having been the only ones to successfully deal with an incursion.
Well, I suppose we'll have to take notes when we confront him.
You give us too much praise. I don't think we did anything that extraordinary.
You saved the Olvari, and they seem to be thriving now. I'd say
We
that's
saved
worthy
the
of
leader
praise.
they needed.
They saved
we-
themselves. We just helped.
Even so,
It's their will to live that kept them going this long. We
it
just
was
have
RA that allowed their will to succeed.
perhaps.
Just looking between Salamander and Winter, did one of you want to... Can one of you explain what we're walking into underground?
First, I'd like to ask if you intend to give reparations. I understand that I may have been supposed to change sides now, but it does seem phoenixes are under the control of the Eyrie. And a phoenix came into my home and killed me and my men.
This is the first time in a very long time they have opened their doors to the outside. If we can find a way to keep them open, communicate, and work together against the Dread, it will eventually come down for them if it finishes up here. And also, like, I would say, Salamander, you would realize that probably some shit that was starting to go down or south in the Aton, probably, given the timing information you now have, might be related to the Dread, because shit has been going downhill a little bit over the past 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
What's the name of this underground kingdom again, Wash?
So the nation as a whole is called Kor Atan. The specific area, the specific vault that has requested reparations for Omen, which is part of why you guys got chosen for this mission, aside from Salamander's specific expertise, was so much scrolling. All you got so far was it was a Nirhadian vault of Koraton.
Herhadian?
Nirhady.
Near.
Nirhady. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should make our way to them with haste.
Mm-hmm.
So, to answer your question, Salamander, they would very much be willing to play reparations if it's something that they are able to do. They want these people as allies, and they want the living to be in this together. They don't want to go out of their way to hurt people. If they can spare the supplies, which is admittedly a big if, as you know how overland logistics must be right now with constant undead armies popping up everywhere.
As soon as that is made clear, Salamander seems to relax a fraction, because he'd been standing, like, rigid. And then he, like, kind of relaxes more into his usual vibe.
Nice.
You should know I may not be welcome there anymore.
How many people would recognize you?
Kind of turns his hand over and says, "It would be difficult." He's unlike the first time he reincarnated. He looks like he's actually seen the sun at all ever before in his life. But I know things and I know people there, and I could make it evident who I am.
Actually, Wash, can we describe what we look like now after having gone through the Crucible so many times?
That sounds fun. If anybody wants to describe, their net character change from the first time. Not everybody's been around for all of it.
Yeah.
And I can go pretty easily because Victor hasn't changed that much. Has mostly just gained kind of a persistent whipping chill wind about her at all times. And, like, just absolutely stupid degrees of reflexes and noticing things.
You've also got, I believe, more tattoos.
Oh, yes, no. There are more tattoos.
Gotta love that rune ink.
Yep. I think rune ink is more the tattoos move and glow now.
Nice.
Oh god, your body is a Rorschach painting.
We're going there.
Or he's just got the Maui tats.
Yeah, Maui hats all for.
So Pout...
Except, oops, sorry, go back.
No, finish what you're saying.
As they actually, it's probably more they like shine in lines and dots than actually move about, but look like they're moving based off when you see them because of the light striking where is bright and where is dark.
Nice.
Gosh, your tattoos are LEDs.
Kinda.
Pout looks less like the sad clown that he was when he first entered the cauldron. You can't even see his face anymore. It is obscured by this puffy rainbow-colored afro with a one nose and yellow eyes that you can see, but you can't see any skin. It's underneath a big-ass, like, Robin Hood red hat. And instead of, the suspenders and baggy clothes, he's now got this red poncho on. And underneath where you would assume his limbs and body are, every time he moves, you hear, like, rubber squeaking against rubber, as though his entire body is just made of balloon animals. And, of course, he still has his oversized shoes.
And rubber chicken.
That's hidden somewhere in the poncho.
So Salamander, when he first showed up, was shorter, incredibly pale, like albino pale, with shock white hair, bright blue eyes. And now he's slightly taller. He's blonde. And he's almost as tan as most of the Windirni you ran into. He's still, if he started as Koratani and then spent way too much time in the sun. And he's got the same tattoos, the same kit. He has like his engineering gear and like too many belts on. Mm-hmm. But now with this last reincarnation, he doesn't really meet people's eyes very often. And when he does, you can see that there are black clouds that pass over the entirety of his eyes. So sometimes you can still see his eyes, which are more of a normal blue now. But sometimes they're completely pitch black, and sometimes they have like wisps of dark moving around in them.
Neat.
That was really awesome and cool, and also my brain went, so eyes are the screensaver to the soul.
If you stare into his eyes long enough, eventually the cloud pings into the corner of his eye perfectly.
Yes.
And everyone's like, yeah!
I'm more like, why do you get a nice beach to relax on in your crucible to get nice and tan?
You get a very sharp smile, and he says, "Yeah, nice, blood-soaked, full of screaming."
Uh, how do Chronicle and Bit look at the moment?
Uh, sure. Chronicle. Basically, he looks kind of so. Sure. Yeah, he basically looks older now. Like his beard has gotten even longer. He looks even more hunched. But something you'll notice is that as opposed to before, where he was kind of just kind of just like a thin old man. Now his muscles actually have some definition to them, so he looks a little more wiry, a little more. Okay, yeah, I'll just say it, a little more Roshi-esque.
Yeah, Roshi.
Yeah.
Buff Roshi or
No, still toned, not buff.
Okay.
But a little closer to that in terms of posture and look. Without the sunglasses. No sunglasses.
turtle shell.
Well, hunched like it, but no, not with the turtle shell.
As I say, he's Jackie Chun Roshi.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
And the robes that he's wearing, so the sash that he was wearing before, which continues to grow, like it's still a huge tapestry of the entire length of the Phoenix Dawn Command. But that tapestry is also spread to his regular clothes as well. So now it looks like, and now kind of noticeably, it seems to like shimmer, and you can see it move. So it almost looks kind of like almost like a conveyor belt, or like a Zelda loading screen, like where you see like the panning of the tapestries. You know?
Gosh.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Everybody has their Maui tats moving. Someone clothes someone's skin.
How about you, Bit? Oh, sorry.
No, that's basically it.
Right. Dan?
Not that we can see Bit, but
Yeah,
Wait,
sure.
would I look any different since I haven't died in a while?
Oh no, I guess that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, you haven't died recently, so.
You've still
Just-
got your talent.
Well,
just
I think it's more like
fooling around.
what your deaths have done to just update what the party looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm trying to remember what the hell my one death did.
Elemental fire.
That's right. Yeah, his posture's changed a little bit. He's just that little bit more upright, kind of a little bit more pep in his step. And his talon has a kind of a slight glowing undercurrent of flame in the kind of orange jade sections of it.
Hmm. Okay.
hell, I completely forgot I have a tactical shovel now.
The best weapon.
Ah.
Also,
Okay.
literally always out. Like, there is not a time where Salamander has his talon put away.
Do you know where your towel/shovel is? Okay. So the alarm went off a few minutes ago. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Corriton, you can ask me via Salamander, or whatever you want to say. I think the big thing is they are in fact a hierarchical hereditary caste structure.
Asking of Salamander and or Winter, is there anything we shouldn't do or say that will make them mad that seems non-obvious?
Salamander
Going-
defers to Winter.
Well, you're going there to apologize, so do your best not to add more to the tab.
Right, but what adds to the tab?
It's okay. We will be as penitent as humanly possible, Pat will say as he reaches up and squeaks his nose.
Salamander looks around and says, don't waste air. Don't eat their food. Don't be a burden on them. You already killed their people. So, and by you, I mean me as well at this point. So we're not going to take from their hospitality.
Hunter is trying very hard to say, okay, so they're like the fallen. She's not saying that, but boy, is she thinking it. Don't eat the food. Don't agree to things that you don't know exactly what you're doing. Don't waste their time.
If he sees confusion on faces, he's going to say, air is very scarce there. Food is very scarce there. We don't need to eat or breathe. Every breath we take is one that someone else can't.
We don't need to breathe to be able to talk.
Then don't breathe.
Okay.
Pout.
So we're gonna.
Pout is you're just going to hear the sound of like the squeak of air being let out of a bunch of balloons, and Pout is just going to shrink 4 inches.
Is there like a moment in the middle where it just speeds up for a half second? It's like pop. Okay.
Or should I fill up here and then let some air out down there?
Oh no!
No, thanks.
Don't let Pout near the cheese.
All right. So I have some wide latitude over the next part. I'm going to yada 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 over a lot of it because you all know our time constraints. You guys pass through the flame and find yourself in the area of Harrogate, one of the great fortress cities of Scavia. The Flamekeeper Ewan is a big bear of men. Has a mask over lower half of face. Give you all large hugs. Good guy. Great time. He makes a point to give you guys a really upscale bottle of mead. And basically says, like, they trade for food and luxury items. This may help. Is guess. Enjoy.
Bottle of mead, get.
Okay.
Nick, why is your hand over my block area?
Oh, because I was alt-tabbed.
Okay.
Also, I don't think I can interact with anything in here. I'm trying right now.
I realized some of my cards were a little bit edged out, so I wanted to make sure. Anyway.
Oh, no, I can't see shit.
After that, once again, yada yada yadaing over what could be a session by itself in one or two places.
Question.
Yeah.
Can we talk telepathically? I forgot if that was a thing that we could do.
Did somebody take that lesson?
You have to spend these sparks to do it.
Yeah, you have to kill Ziggy's sparks to do it.
Oh. Wait, what?
You devoted bomb.
Do a telepathic blast.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I need to devote that.
Like, we could also send a telepathic blast to the party, but it requires Ziggy spending a spark for every time we do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not worth having a conversation in it. We have a conversation out loud in Pyrean.
All right. You know, I'm just going to use 4 sparks today. So
yeah, can the people in Corton speak Pyrean?
No, only phoenixes can speak Pyrean.
Well, we can
some spirits, as you guys have found out, and the chanters. But yeah, it's not something that mortals can speak.
My concern wasn't hiding things from them; it was wasting air. Because I can speak Coraton sign, and I think that some of y'all are like beginner fluent by now.
I have been trying to become fluent, like beginner fluent in that.
It is also worth noting that everybody in this town seems happy to see phoenixes. It turns out that another wing, Mercy's wing, actually, was here basically 2 weeks ago and protected the town from a horde of hungry ghosts. So everybody's happy about there being more phoenixes around. Skipping up a little bit again, you guys basically have to climb a set of mountains to get from Harrogate, the closest place with a natural Harry, into the depth of the Golden Mountain range.
Do we need to make a spread for that?
Not for this one. I am skipping the subsession that is along the way, basically.
Moses, I have cards that I could use to make a spread for that if you wanted us to.
We'll get to stuff you can use cards on, don't worry.
Candy ain't great. I want to throw some of these away.
Oh, I know. So it will actually take probably like a week of travel for you guys to get from Harrogate to this moment. There's a lot of weird stuff on the way. There's a weird rock slide that seems to go uphill at one point. There is a group of merchants on the side of the road that ask for help, but when you actually look down, it is wolves with human voices.
Hunter's gonna be trying to get news about what's up with Scavia during this. If you want to send that to me after session, that's fine.
Sure. But at this point, Hunter, you're the first to spot a guard post well before you reach the gates of Aton near Andy. Snipers watch you from hidden chambers carved into the stone of the mountains. Before long, you come to the gate, where a troop of Aton soldiers is waiting. They're a pair of pale folk with bone-white skin and silky white hair. Their eyes are icy blue. They wear scale mail covered in white lacquer and carry spears and long axes. As you approach, the spears lower, and the captain calls out a challenge in a language that only Bit and Salamander speak.
What did they say?
Basically, who goes there?
Looking over at Salamander for this one.
They will
Salamander's
also repeat it in Elonian if there's no immediate response.
Oh no, Salamander immediately says, Nirhajan Valukadi. And then like a little bit of a pause and says, a phoenix. Which is how you say salamander, phoenix in their language.
Bippity boppity boo.
Their spears remain down. The head guard's eyes just kind of narrow, and says in Aton, "What is your business here, and and how did you come to know our language?"
So the first thing I gave him was my full name,
Yes.
which says that I'm from there. Is he still suspicious and asking me how I know this language?
Yes, you're a phoenix.
I'm going to switch over to Elonian. That's what everybody speaks, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Not everybody in Koraton knows it, but everybody they would station, near a major entrance does.
Okay. And say, do you speak Elonian?
Yes, he responds in Elonian, and all of the rest of you can. Yes, I can use the surface tongue, if you'd prefer.
That's appreciated.
He laughs a little bit and says, I don't, but my friends do. I am from here. I died and became a phoenix. That's how I know your tongue.
Fine then, keep your secrets. What is your business here?
You sent a letter.
Is there an invitation?
Well, it requested reparations, and generally, contact needs to be made to do that.
Present the missive.
Do we have the missive on us?
Yeah, they would have sent you guys with it.
I'm going to assume it's with Bit, hence why Pout can't find it.
Pout, it's with Bit.
Who?
You can stop checking your pockets.
Who's... Oh, right. Bit. Where is he? Bit?
Bit is as you're looking, Bit is directly in front of you.
Yep. Pout looks down like, oh, there you are. I forgot where you were, and he's gonna like wrap his arms around you. And you know what it's like to feel like balloon noodles like against your skin squeezing you?
Why would you know what that's like?
That is Deeply uncomfortable.
I spaced out for a second reading more of the book, and that's probably a good thing.
He's going to like.
No, this is the type of life Izzy leads. I entirely believe he knows what that's like.
You've never made a balloon animal octopus?
I've never been trapped in one.
You haven't lived.
That is impressive.
Apparently.
So who's presenting the
Uh,
presentation?
I'm going to push Bit forward. Come on, you can do it. Just remember your manners.
All right.
You
Don't
said
waste any air.
you said I understand I can speak their tongue, right?
I mean, you haven't said anything in it yet, but yeah, you can understand it and speak it as a shrouded.
Okay. I will kind of give a polite greeting and offer the missive to him.
Okay. He just kind of squints again. He looks at you, just looks at the missive, takes it from your hand, looks it over. He makes a hand gesture, and one of the guards comes out of the rocks and starts beating a complex pattern on a small drum embedded in the wall. Within moments, the gates begin to open.
Can I memorize that pattern just in case?
I actually wanted to say I want to memorize the pattern too, because that falls under entertaining.
The outer gates are nearly 3 feet solid of stone. You're not sure what sort of mechanism drags them open so easily. As you make your way down the long tunnel, you see more evidence of Aton paranoia. Half a dozen portcullises are ready to drop, and a number of holes could be used to fill the passage with burning oil or pitch. You continue to descend, and finally you enter the central hall of the vault. It appears to have been hewn directly through solid stone. The lines are sharp and precise, every surface smooth and polished. Light comes from massive glowing half-spheres of rosy crystal set into the walls and ceilings. This unnatural illumination is dim, but your eyes quickly adjust. Despite it being deep underground, the air is fresh and the temperature comfortable. One other detail stands out. Patterns of runes and lines are carved in the walls and pillars of the hall. You see those around the illuminating globes. You see those around the illuminating globes around the base of a fountain and running up the supporting pillars. Looking closely, they seem to be inlaid with some sort of silvery metal. If anybody wants to take a closer look at those, let me know. Continuing for now, there are people all around you. Pale atoms, going about their daily lives. You see no sign of beggars or loiterers, nor do you hear laughter or song. Everyone seems to have a job to do, and they go about it with a sense of determination and purpose. Eventually, you reach another set of doors, emblazoned with what you imagine to be the seal of a ruling house. Your escorts usher you through. This is the Hall of Waiting, the sergeant tells you. Nira Kamari will tend to you in their own time.
At this point, Pout is probably just going to get distracted by the silvery stuff on the walls after we are let in.
Okay.
I'm going to go take a peek at it.
Salamander looks to Hunter and makes the Koraton hand sign for home and looks very relaxed.
Hunter is going to actually sign to the guards basically the equivalent of, thank you, you did well, except I think Hunter's accent in Koraton's sign is very vulgar 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Like, thank you so much.
No, more like, thanks, motherfuckers, this was great.
That is accurate to what I would have taught you.
12? I still talk like that.
Uh-oh.
Izzy, you can go and check those out as much as you want. Unfortunately, learning more about them is an intellect spread.
Cool.
I will I will also look at the cool shiny runes.
So the second worst person here to make an intellect spread. Cool.
You have only good decisions.
Wow, it looks so sturdy. Pout's gonna say, reaching up and shaking a sconce on the wall ever so lightly.
That gets a very sharp glare from Salamander.
Okay. For trying to justify the ability to play Grace in this spread, I'm gonna try saying Traveler friends. Hunter's actually traveled a lot around Scavia, and even though Corton is, to use Stellaris' term, xenophobic isolationist, like, some amount of their language and costumes must have leaked out over the years in songs, even if it's been badly translated and badly reinscribed. And so Hunter's like, circle with, oh wait, is it supposed to have 3 dots? I thought there were only 2 in there. Okay, but 3 dots means this when you do it lyrically.
That unfortunately doesn't work for reasons that if somebody does make the check will become immediately obvious.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do these runes seem weird to me?
No, like, you grew up with this stuff
Okay.
around all the time. Well, there's more of it up here. You're kind of in the good part of town, if you will.
Is it the kind of runes I would have in my tattoo?
If you want to, yeah. They are... You would know that these are functional. More than aesthetic, although that they seem to have found a way to combine the two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm ignoring them and minding my own business because they're kind of background noise.
Yeah.
But I do have very similar markings on my neck.
Alright, so Hunter is going to give an atrociously bad translation of what these runes mean to Salamander. Like, okay, was that accurate? Like, the duck howls twice in midday with run.
Oh, actually, I will give you this, because Salamander can say it if you want. The engravings are not in the Coratan language.
Never mind, my tattoos are in Coratan.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna blink very confused at Hunter and then sign, what the hell did you just say?
Point at the sentence that Hunter tried to translate in the runes. It's probably not even the start of a sentence, it's halfway through because she messed up where punctuation is.
Oh god, okay. I guess I'll try and read it.
Sure. Intellect spread.
And it's 3 for a skill spread, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 4.
The arcane and lore both apply.
Okay, so that's plus 10, right?
Unfortunately, it's only a +5. If any specialties apply at all, it's +5 to the whole thing.
But they're from different things.
I know.
Okay. +5.
I was also disappointed in finding out this ruling. It makes 30s harder.
9, 12.
I will also say, depending on how this check goes, depending on what's in your hands, Ziggy, you might just recognize them very immediately.
Oh. I mean, I can look and see.
Do you have Warlock? Say you have Warlock. I'm betting you need Warlock.
I don't have Warlock on me at the moment, no. I mean, I can make an intellect spread, but...
It was in your other tapestry pants.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. So that's 4, 3, 7, 9, 14.
Bendier Spark?
15. Okay, I got a 15.
Unfortunately, you can tell there's more going on here. You've had a lot more training in the mystic arts. in your time in the Crucible and as a Phoenix, there's a method to this that you might not have recognized before, and you can kind of see that like these things are channeling power. But the specifics with the 15 unfortunately do not come to you.
Okay. Any idea of where they might be from, if not Corathon?
You know what? With a 15, I think I will give you at least this much. This is a strange, maybe archaic, hard to tell, variation of Pyrean.
Oh, interesting.
It is not entirely like nor unlike what if you've ever hung out with Chronicle while he's doing warlock things. It's not unlike that type of symbols.
Okay, I'll wave to Chronicle.
Yes.
And I'll point at the runes and say, as simply as possible in Pyrean, like Pyrean. You read?
I'll give it a shot. And I will, yeah. Am I able to suss it out?
It's an int check.
Ink check, you say. Okay.
Yes.
Do any of my skills apply? Tradition, perhaps? Spirits?
Unfortunately, no.
See. Okay. Well, intellect spread it is. Thankfully, I've got this, and this,
It's got a specialty that applies, but
this, and I can use one grace card, and I'll spend a spark from a thought coil.
how did you get 4 cards without any traits?
Hmm?
The skill checks are 3 cards.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
No.
That's my bad.
It's all good.
Well then. So that's 3, so that's 8, 11, so that is 16.
Unfortunately, you get about the same. It looks similar to some of the warlock stuff that you've worked with, but it's definitely channeling power somewhere to and from somewhere. But the specifics are harder to dig into. All right. So, I think at this point, they definitely make you wait for a bit.
I am going to eventually start tapping different tunes just with heels of boots on the stone floor.
I mean, I can burn a ton of good intellect cards to try.
It's up to you. I will give you guys one more check if you would like.
Alright, fuck it. I haven't really done anything yet this session. I assume so. Lore applies to this.
Yes.
Alright, so that's 17, and then can I use hidden motion to grasp the hidden meanings within?
Damn it, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That'll get you up to 20 before any sparks are involved. I'll say hidden motion's a 3.
Probably not worth using 5 sparks on this. And I don't have the card that lets me burn a health to get 4 sparks back.
Yet.
So we'll go with 20.
Okay. These engravings are directly tied to the different environmental effects around. As your attention is drawn to it by those who have tried before, and not quite fully puzzled it out, you just kind of have to look at it sideways and think about it for a minute. And, oh, okay. The runes around the light globes are almost like, again, you can't figure out the exact wording, but it's like a demand for illumination. The ones carved into the pillars are a plea for continued support, and and there are definitely ones leading into holes in the wall, and you can't get the full scope, but there seems to be air moving from them, and there's a zeal for purity.
Okay. I will explain my findings to the group as best I can.
Salamander's going to say in Pyrian, it is best that they do not know that these are written in Pyrian.
But okay, but purity?
Of air?
Well, okay, but why does it sound like a prayer or then?
We have gods. Maybe it's a prayer to them.
But whatever prayer it is, it seems if it is a prayer, it seems to be being answered to some degree.
The doors finally open. A small group of people enters the hall. It includes 4 soldiers, a handful of servants. But there's no question who you're here to see. The smith is a woman in her mid-20s, equipped for battle. She has a great sword strapped across her back, and her armor of dark steel is engraved with the same silvered runes you see on all the walls of the Grand Hall. She has an aura of absolute confidence, and she glances at you with what seems to be disappointment. An older man walks a few steps in front of her. He wears a gray robe marked with the seal of the house, and his shaved head is tattooed with runes that run down his neck towards his spine. He inclines his head towards you. Greetings, honored visitors. I am the voice of Niraka Dahraya. I will hear your names and deeds, and how you intend to settle this debt between us.
Oh, names and deeds. I know how to announce that in properly epic fashion. I'm mostly just going to actually state pretty true things about the party's deeds in an especially cool and impressive way. Again, I'm trying to use Traveler for I know tales of the road, folk tales, and things like that. Hunter is in no way nobility or has any idea of how to be really proper outside of being way overboard.
And you can see as you
Notably-
talk.
Notably, is being very succinct with this and occasionally just using Corrigan hand signals that, as stated, are a very vulgar 12-year-old.
When you get to Salamander, he raises his hand to answer for himself.
Surprisingly, Bit will also answer for himself. He will. What was the name of the town where we fought the voice?
Oh, the chant.
Yeah,
that
the
was
chant.
that was the capital. The Darhold in the capital.
That one would have been earlier one for there's both Blackstone. There's the capital.
So Bit will actually give a very formal introduction, basically like he's talked to rich, self-important people before, and note that he is the silencer of the Darhold chant.
I like that. By the way, quick interjection. While you guys are talking, it seems the old man is whispering and translating for the person that you guys are here to see, the smith, which definitely Salamander would probably have let you guys know by now. The ruling castes are the smiths and the architects. The smiths make their own weapons and use them. And it is very much... and she is occasionally whispering things back to him. Not so much whispering as saying them at room tone. Although once once you guys start using the Corrigan language, she starts whispering a little bit more. It's like when Hunter is introducing herself... and the old man is kind of translating for her. She kind of is like, "Oh wow, his accent's terrible." Or sorry, her accent's terrible. Oh, how long is this going to go
I
for?
don't know the language. I know the sign language because that's what Salamander taught.
So before she starts, before she starts quiring her voice down a little bit, those of you who understand Koraton language is like she's just kind of complaining and being like, "Oh God, we gotta get this over with. Ugh, they're so much smaller and less impressive than the last time. What is going on?"
As this is all happening, Pout's just going to slowly deflate a little bit.
Oh, you don't speak Koraton, you don't know.
Oh, I know, but just like everybody else is saying about all these amazing deeds, and I just deflate.
I will say the old man who identified him as the voice.
I'm pumping Pout up as Slayer of the Dreadnought plus savior of. I'm actually being more cagey, like savior of quite a number of people, like the crew of X, even and not telling what the rest of that mission is. I'm pumping everyone up.
And the voice character is definitely when comment is required. He is definitely a diplomatic translator.
Salamander, when he intervenes on his own behalf, does his introduction in Koraton sign. And his introduction is, I am Nerhajan Velokari, and I was the one who led the expeditions deep below our vault, and died by the hand of the phoenix known as Omen.
They're gonna kind of look towards each other, and then the smith is just gonna kind of interrupt and say in Koraton directly to you, "What did the phoenix want? Where is my uncle's sword?" And the old man is just gonna be like, "Oh," and just gonna kind of like, no. And you definitely know, Salamander, the voices are not just for surface people. The ruling castes don't necessarily talk directly to the people below in the castes below them without a voice present.
Okay. He's going to make a suitable gesture of deference, and then say, directly to her in Koraton, I do not know. He wanted us to lead him to the vault. We took him to the sealed vault. He opened the vault, went in, came out with the sword, and sheathed it in my stomach. I wasn't around to trace where it went after that.
Impossible. Such a creature couldn't touch up the blade of our house.
I tell you what I know. I have the most recent information. To my knowledge.
And, I apologize for all of my interjections. Did anybody else want to finish introducing themselves?
I mean, that's honestly having that be the last introduction probably makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I translate that to everybody else in Pyrian, since it really doesn't matter what language I use.
And while you two are talking, the old man is kind of like slowly is translating it to Elonian for the rest of you.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, and after a minute, after you two talk, Daria, Dharya, which is fun because I just realized it's Daria and I'm getting flashbacks to the 80s. Which I didn't exist in.
I did.
She just kind of puts a hand up towards her speaker and just makes him stop, and he just kind of dejected drops his shoulders and she says in decent but a little broken and stiff Elonian, "My uncle's blade is lost to us because of your treacherous cousin. Will you make this right? Are you creatures without honor?"
I'm going to like into Chronicle's ear. What is our cousin?
To her, it is like, we came to offer aid that can be given, but do not know where he is. Do you have any knowledge?
The expedition was lost. She's kind of going back. She's going back to Coratan now. But you guys know that she understands Elonian. But she is more fluent and faster with her native tongue. She will kind of relate and that the only survivor, who is someone that you would actually remember, Salamander, was the group's runner and sort of guide, who's a Coratan named Kaidi. They survived because when the doors locked behind you and stuck your expedition inside, she stayed outside. Her story is that she led them down there, kept telling them it was a bad idea, 20 people. She stayed outside, the door closed. An hour later, there was screaming, and then it opened again, and the only person to exit was Omen with blood on his blade. She hid, and she assumes that's the reason she lived.
Did she see where he went?
He left.
And we see if he left a trail?
No.
This is more
Kaidi
Hunter.
is currently being punished for returning without the blade, nor going in to assess the damages. But she is available to guide you back again, under supervision.
As soon as it looks like his boss is not looking at him, Hunter is also going to sign to the poor man who is trying to do his job well. Again, vulgar 12-year-old. You did good, bro.
This is directed at, the
This is specifically directed at the translator when his boss isn't looking.
excellent.
He's
just gonna kind of look take it aback slightly for a second. There will be a crack in his back. He'll get the attention of his employer, and then he's just gonna regain his composure incredibly quickly, and just give you a curt nod.
My hands are behind my back, but by the time she turns around, nothing happened.
Are you willing to accompany us to recover the blade?
Salamander's going to say, do we need a guide? I was on that expedition.
What did you say your name was again?
They're Hajin Valokari.
Strange times indeed. I do not... They will whisper back and forth again, and then the voice will say, your name passed these chambers always in... always whispered... blah, 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 blah. There's the energy wall. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. Okay. Your name passed through this chamber often, usually in a positive tone, and even those who cursed you acknowledged that it was likely for making the right decisions. Glad to hear they came around.
It costs so little to speak well of the dead.
he signed something that's probably too complicated for Hunter. Um, but it's yes, and when I was alive, a few of them tried to poison me.
Bit will kind of smirk at that.
Wait, they tried to get him drunk. Why is that a bad thing?
You'll get hand signs back. Was it seasoning or serious?
I'm going to sign back. Um, Both. I wasn't playing in the kid gloves weights.
Another nod of respect.
Seasoning.
Well-
I'm going to sign back with a very serious look on my face. What we do is frequently far too dangerous for the living. I have survived what would kill anyone else 5 times over. Um, as much as I would love to run with my old coworker again, if she survived last time, I don't want to put her in double jeopardy.
Admirable. You get a stiff nod from the smith. Well, if we are resolved, I would ask you to stay here for some time as we prepare our provisions and caravan, which you will be escorting with us to these.
May we interrogate? Interview the prisoner in the meantime.
But of course, she will be there with us at the feast before we set out.
Not at that. Are they leaving us alone after that?
They are. They leave to make preparations.
I'm just going to
If you guys try to leave, the guards will kind of gently be like, "We'd prefer if you'd stay here, because the last Phoenix here was Omen, so people aren't exactly trustful right now. If more of you would be crawling around."
You have very
No,
lovely
that's-
sconces.
I think I know what you were going to ask, Eric. Go ahead.
Have I ever been to a big fancy dinner before?
No.
Okay. But
Well,
I'm like,
not a Coriton one.
right. I'm like, I don't know if it would be bad for them not to eat the food if it's big and fancy and ceremonial, or if it would be bad for them to eat the food because we don't have much food. Because I know what those logistics books look like, man.
Salamander sweating in the corner at the nice part of town.
Yes.
Also, to Salamander, as soon as we have a chance, Salamander, it's cold and dry. They said that someone tried to get you drunk, right?
It's just laughing out of sight.
He's been spending too much time on land, and he actually laughs out loud before he clamps a hand over his mouth. And then he says, poison. And then does the poison sign. Poison.
I thought that was alcohol.
And then he does the alcohol sign. And then he does them one after the other. And says, here,
Oh wait, it was the thing with your index finger. That was the difference.
yes, alcohol, seasoning poison.
Wait, seasoning poison?
Seasoning poison.
Why does that need a descriptor?
Because if you're doing things right, people won't want to annoy you, they'll want you dead.
I thought the nobility in Scavia was fucked up.
I am so confused.
Alcohol
Yeah.
Alcohol is a seasoning poison. It's an, it's annoying, but it won't kill you.
Also, Eric, I'm not going to be an exposition dump on the way poisons work in the Aton Society. I'll let you have fun with that if you want to.
Okay. I've built out a whole political system.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Salamander, I'm going to run some songs by you at some point and tell me if they're offensive.
Okay.
Because none of them are going to be, but the point is to be funny.
Well, the first three are right out, but that's just because they use way too much air.
I just love how there's like frat boy poisoning and then I'm trying to murder you poisoning in this society.
Yeah.
Also, be right back, bio. Hunter is
Oh, good.
humming and tapping heel to a beat.
And we've all been to Willis's.
That's
If
true.
Bit says anything about that being funny, Salamander will say, and then there's the really annoying poisoning, which is the upper end of seasoning poisoning, where it doesn't hurt you, but it wastes resources.
It's like Taco Bell. It hurts on the way out.
Like Taco Bell.
Well, my wife hear you say that. She fucking loves Taco Bell.
I mean, me too, though.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, I wish I could quit you.
It's true.
Dong. Oh, incidentally, the feast is set to be at 4 bells, so they are not Taco Bells.
I'm so confused.
In or out of character?
Yes.
Okay.
Bells.
It's how they keep time when there's no sunlight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What happens if the bells ever get out of sync?
Ding
You don't wanna be
dong,
on-
ding dong.
They never have, and they never will.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say they had a whole war about it.
And I say it's 3 p.m.
Whenever you need to come up with a new measurement standard at this goddamn place.
The lead 4 p.m.er got assassinated a week later.
Wash, can that be
Yeah.
what I'm infamous for? Can I be infamous for coming up with a new measurement?
For time?
You came
No,
up with daylight.
for,
You came
uh,
up with daylight savings.
For like, what about for like threat levels? Like a measurement of like human risk in tunnel expeditions.
We're now at Blackwatch Plaid.
Oh, I was thinking of that exact joke. Damn it.
I was going to say, if Salamander's responsible for daylight savings time, can we still be friends?
No, we can't.
You could just poison me about it. Everyone else does.
Aren't you immune to poisons now?
So I have
Them
a
contain
quick
slight bits
question.
of iocane powder.
So I have a quick question for you guys vis-a-vis pacing. This is still an experimental game to some degree, after all. So there is some material for role-playing through the feast if you guys want to. It is already 8:20, so I can give you guys the Cliff Notes version if you want. It's basically your chance to kind of meet the people you're going to be on the expedition with before you go. We still have that hard cutoff at 10 though, and it is 8:20.
I mean,
Anyways.
I'm fine with Cliff Notes, but I don't know what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah, Cliff Notes is fine with me.
That seems fine.
All right. So here's the flavor text a few hours later when you guys are somewhere between let out and cordially invited. The feast is a small affair, by surface standards anyway. Nirhaka Daraya represents the Smith cast and is accompanied by her voice, Varys, whom you've already met. Daria, yeah. The other chief dignitary is an old man. He's pale, even by Aton standards, with a wispy white beard and gray eyes. This is Nirha Yangri, of the Architects, the mystics of House Nirhadi. Where Daria continues to occasionally speak to you directly, Yangri is a stickler for protocol. He communicates through his voice, Gora. He speaks quietly, so generally only Gora can hear him. She also indicates his emotions. He keeps his face impassive while she displays exaggerated doubt, or disdain. Gora herself has an athletic build and steel vambraces protecting her forearms. She has the studious gaze of a bodyguard. There is one more guest, Nirva Pratis, a young woman who will accompany you as a secondary architect. Pratis wears her pale hair in a long braid, and where Gora looks at you with disdain, albeit on Yangri's behalf, the junior architect studies you with interest. Dishes are brought in by a host of servants, a multitude of mushrooms and different sauces, a myriad of insect-based appetizers, and the main dish, some sort of massive grub stuffed with spicy fungus. A wide assortment of alcoholic beverages are also available, though as phoenixes they have little effect on you. You all have no requirement to eat ever, but you can if you want to.
I am going to try the interesting Boraton food.
Yeah, Markle sample the local cuisine. Spicy grub sounds good.
Nice.
I don't know any of these people.
I just want to do like the reverse imagination of like if you've ever seen a magician swallowing like a balloon sword. Think the inverse of that, where like it's a balloon sword trying to swallow whatever food is put in front of Pout.
I don't even know what that looks like.
It looks like a finger trap, just very large, and the food is the finger, and it just doesn't come out.
Is that Pout's mouth now?
I mean, you can't see Pout's mouth. It is obscured by afro and big rubber nose. In fact, you guys have not seen any skin on Pout in quite some time.
Well, I suppose at least we know Pout has not become Pantsless Pete.
Okay, so summarizing some of what's happening.
Do I know any of the folks here?
Yeah, so a little bit more information to compensate you all for not getting to roleplay it out, and especially because somebody was here in your party the last time Omen was here. So the guy who basically sent you guys on the expedition, Salamander, was the closest thing to a king this vault has. It was the first architect, which seems to be the Daria's uncle. So the sword that she is very, very concerned with getting back is also kind of a status symbol. So there's a little bit of politics going on here. Gora, no, we're right. Not Gora. She's the bodyguard. Yangri is the second. He would probably be the most likely to succeed. The Smiths and the Mystics are kind of rivals, where the Smiths do the fighting and the forging of weapons. The Mystic make sure all of this magical infrastructure that nobody fully understands anymore keeps running. So there's definitely some political undertones of like who can get the symbol of the last guy in charge of everything back. The Pratis, the Pratys, she is a younger architect. You guys, if you want to ask any more about personality traits of some of the people at this meeting, she is extremely curious, kind of ravenous for information about the secret world, the surface world, and she is fascinated by all of your Pyrean stuff and keeps asking how it works and stuff like that. She is young and promising, but has no kind of smithy or territory to call her own yet. So she's kind of elbowed her way in with the big guys somehow.
I was going to say, that sounds like the person Hunter is talking to, having very little intellectability and showing off some stuff, too.
Pout is going to do a magic trick that we only know on the surface world.
So Daria seems to appreciate anything that you guys talk about that's kind of martial or about your exploits and being good warriors. Yangri is actually terrified of your magic tricks and any excessively high-end displays of lore and magic. And anybody sitting close to him can hear him mumbling something about they knew they were here to steal his secrets. If anybody is too enthusiastic about food, that is a bit of a social faux pas here. You were invited to the feast, but if you just eat everything in sight, you're going to get a lot of dirty looks.
I mean,
Salamander has already kind of covered why.
I'm trying relevant things for small amounts and complimenting their chefs or farmers, or honestly, Hunter probably mangles the word.
Let's see. So,
Pound is going to try to like take like a full thing, like what you would normally just take a slice of, put it in mouth. This tastes very good. Then stand up and like reach into stomach and put it back on the table.
So you're insulting them.
No, I've tasted it. I have eaten it. I want to make sure there is more to go around.
I mean, you're clearly just not eating their food, though.
I'm made of balloons at this point. There is nothing to digest it.
Salamander, when this happens, Salamander just kind of like blue screens.
I'm going to distract you with a story of military things, because that is actually a thing Hunter has done.
So, continuing to kind of breeze through the Cliff Notes version. When the topic of Omen himself comes up, something odd happens. Nobody has... there's no consistent story. The things that are kind of consistent is that he introduced himself as Omen of the Shrouded Legion, or Phoenix of the Shrouded Legion, which is in fact the term used for those of you with history or sufficient lore knowledge. That is the term the Phoenixes used before the Civil War happened, and they changed from the Phoenix Legion to Dawn Command. Whole bunch of stuff that goes into that. Brain. The Yangri remembers a gauntlet. They can't even remember. They can't even agree on what he was armed with. One of them says a gauntlet. One of them says a cloak. One of them says a crossbow. One of the few things that they all mention is that he had tattoos. That once they describe would actually be pretty consistent with the ones you see on Hunter, Shadowvar.
She was just going to swear under her breath that one, but
they do clearly recall that like they will all describe these items with a shrouded badge symbol in them. But yeah, they don't know how he convinced the old, I'm just going to use the word king, even though it's not accurate because it's a good shorthand. They don't know how he convinced the old king to send them all on an expedition. They don't know what he was going to find, but clearly he was convincing enough to make it, to make his case.
Salamander furrows his brow and says, "We were looking for an old vault. We ward vaults all the time. This is one of them."
Yes, but we don't know what would possess him to go for that's the speaker's territory. We don't usually have occasion to go down there unless it's serious, or unless we have to. Pipes up the architect's voice, the old architect's voice, Gora, with an exaggerated huff.
wait. So this is a vault, and you were looking for another vault. Does vault mean city?
Yes.
Okay.
Have I been
Talk,
poisoned
just
by that
like,
architect
all right, I
before?
understand what's going on here.
Sorry, what was that, Eric?
Have I been poisoned by that architect before?
Do you want to have been poisoned by that?
I feel like he would hate me. I feel like he does hate me. He just doesn't know who I am yet.
There were orders to poison you. He's like, poison that one. He didn't even know your name.
Well, if he's like, I don't think that we should be going on expeditions to the tunnels, like, my shtick before I died was that I was the project manager for tunnel expeditions, much to everyone's chagrin.
Okay. So, unless there's anything specific anybody else wants to do for this scene, which I am happy to, entertain the possibility of, though not too long. Once again, time. I'm ready to kind of skip to the next day when your actual party gets together and is ready to go on the expedition.
I'm willing to make a social spread to curry favor, but otherwise,
Um,
You can do that. I see you trying to get rid of your shit cards, but go for it.
I've gotten rid of some of my shit cards.
While we're at the party, I pointedly don't say anything and speak as little as possible.
I lost all of that.
Oh no, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it's gating because I turned my computer and there's an air conditioner. While we're at the party, I don't eat or drink, and I speak as little as possible, though I do sign a lot.
I'm also going to do one more magic trick where I'm just like, look, there's nothing in between my hands. And I'm going to close my hands and open them up. And that bottle of mead that we were given is going to be in there. And I'm going to ask if anybody would like some as a sign of good faith.
The Daria and Yangri, both of their voices will kind of reach for it and very much gainfully accept the offer.
Yay! Plot device has been used.
Yup. Meanwhile, Hunter is very much doing story of military exploits that is told as much through sign as she is able to do before people start obviously getting confused, and then she'll use words because
Come
she
help
can
you.
to Salamander when that matters.
All right, Grace.
I'll come help you.
Depending on what they know of the service will definitely reveal who she was.
Okay, Grace spread.
Can I do a resolve for this was very much facing down something that they didn't know what was going on but did so anyway because,
That sounds reasonable. They do still overall view you guys with suspicion and are a little wary of being of aggressively being won over. That said, that doesn't mean they're immune to it.
Okay. Can I stunt in using strength as an example for this? Because I have a reason for that. So first off, this is a grace card. My hand is all murder. But Hunter is going to tell the story, embellish a lot, but a lot of it is through sign because actually she was a storyteller before all of this. And end with a big clap that is mostly there for special effect, but also there for punctuation of using Thunderstrike as a stunt in.
Yeah, I'll make the Thunderstrike a 3.
Combo of martial might plus actually a storyteller is why I'm trying to stunt in strength.
What's your total?
Am I allowed to stunt in strength?
You can put in the 1.
Okay. So that's a 3, 5, 10, 18, fuck it, 20.
Okay.
You don't need to put one, I can help you, because I have a trait.
Oh, go for it.
So Salamander, having just lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of battles and deaths, repeat, is going to try and help with the sign. And whenever things are kind of like stalling along or he can't quite make up what a sign is, he'll fill it in with some details from fights that he saw with the Windirni, to embellish a little bit.
I like it.
IDK.
I will. Yeah, that adds a 3.
I feel like Thunderstrike might need to be at this point explaining how we finish something off, asking the leader for what is a target that is allowed to have a spear thrown at it.
Just throw it at Pout.
No.
I'll be fine.
Okay, so the end result was 22.
Yeah, 22.
Okay, so
Mostly Thunderstriking some random thing that is there that no one cares about as Hunter's weapon gets lodged deep into whatever stone thing is there and probably sonic booms on its way towards it.
okay.
Wait, could you thunderstrike a talon?
What? So here's what happens. Yangri, the old, so the two architect, the architect in the room with a voice is remaining rather passive, but his voice just has like the gigantic like the eyes wide, just kind of face pinched back, kind of like a little terrified stare. The smith is excited and into it, and kind of after one or two drinks, excitedly like asking more questions, and then her voice keeps looking embarrassed. And the other the other architect, the young one, is taking notes.
Honestly, if Hunter can pull it off, she's going to pour a glass to both of those voices. They have been doing their best.
They'll both more or less give you the equivalent of "not while I'm on duty."
Acceptable.
Pout's gonna wander by, fill their glasses up with mead because I don't speak sign language.
Okay, so I think we're good to go to the next day. If you guys are good with that.
Then we're going to the next day. That means we get back sparks that I didn't use.
It's true.
I get back sparks I used.
I mean, 4 bells is about 2 a.m., so it won't actually be super long. Not that the time of the sun matters underground. So I'm going to put out the buddies that you guys will be responsible for during this trip. Doesn't that sound great?
How many are there?
Please.
Okay, so
Who's gonna die?
oh boy.
Oops.
Oh god.
Why are
There are so many.
Why are there always fucking 5 of them?
No, there's more. There's more.
First hit.
Wow.
I can't help but feel
They
like
must
this
be
is
distributed amongst the party as evenly as possible. This means I think 2 of you end up with 2.
Okay, I suppose the question is, do any of them have opinions of who they want to hang out with before we make choices?
Yeah, who's most okay with dying?
Ish, they'll basically go with whoever you guys say. Although I will say, once if anybody tells Kaidi who Salamander is, they'll probably want to be with him.
I like Kaidi with me.
As a note, Kaidi was your once again. They actually brought her. She was the guide, the runner that accompanied the first expedition, and is currently wearing manacles and chains as punishment for running away.
Is it bad that I want to continue talking to the Smith in really bad sign language and making all sorts of bad things happen?
If no one tells Kaidi who I am, I tell Kaidi who I am.
I don't know who you are.
Well, I meant I've told literally everybody on their rulership who I am. So if they didn't decide to share that information, I would have signed like, "Hey, buddy, it's me, ya boy."
Yeah, boy.
So I think what's going to happen then is he's gonna He's gonna, or sorry, she's gonna kind of be taken aback for a second, back up, look at you, kind of squint up and down, not sure how to feel about this, and then just kind of look really pensive. That her face is gonna scrunch up, and she's just gonna run over and kind of lean on you affectionately for a minute before she just kind of gets jerked back by the chain for a second. It's like, no, none of that.
I'm
The heck out of her for that 1 second.
She would hug you, but arms are bound.
Yeah.
I'm mostly balloons now if you need rubber.
I'm leaning towards saying maybe it would be good for Hunter to have the smith and whichever was the cool architect.
The cool architect was this. This is the young one.
Whichever one was listening to the story and taking notes.
That's her.
I strongly suspect we will want 2 people with Bit because Bit is very good at not getting hit.
This is also why I say I feel like Hunter taking 2 people makes sense, because I am the second most defensive member of the party.
And I'm
Well, the
also
thing is,
probably-
when I have people, my not getting hit doesn't matter too much. It will still target my group.
Wait, is the old man who was is one of the voices good at stealth? Because they should go with Bit if they're good at stealth.
I think only the runners are actually proficient in stealth in this group.
Isn't there a loyal runner?
Yeah, Namaki.
So maybe Namaki goes with Bit.
That's also good because
Yeah,
Bit.
I guess that means I get more. Even though other people can't hide, I still get more. That means I can use more of my resources on defending group rather than myself.
Mhm.
Hey, Wash! I'm spending 4 sparks.
Oh boy.
What is it? 2 per? Was that it?
I'm warding.
No,
I'm warding everybody.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to say in Pyrean, Yangri should go with Pout.
I'll say back in Pied Reed, he won't survive if he comes with me.
Right.
Also, by the mechanics of the game, you guys must evenly distribute the buddies.
I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're aware of that.
Look, I've claimed 2 already. For boy, am I responsible for their defense.
I'll take Nirava and. I mean, I'll take Nirava and or Sevagora. Either or.
I'll take whoever nobody else wants, because they are not going to be long for this one.
I guess maybe take Yangi and Yangri's voice. That way they're together.
Oh, so you want me to take the 2 people so they die?
No,
just take Yangri.
I'm saying for Crop.
All right, I'll take Yangri.
Just Monica.
Yeah. All right, I'll take Yangri.
That's Yangi's voice. This one over here is the one you want, who's the leader.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to say in Pyrean, what I'm saying is Yangri poisoned me while I was alive, so if Yangri ended up with Pout, I would not feel sad about it.
Out of character, that's hilarious. In character, Hunter's opinion is none of them should die. We should die before they do.
Pout will die before
Above
they
game,
do.
You guys can force any buddy pairings you want. In game, I think this would be hilarious.
What? Give 2 of the voices to the same person?
Also, if Yangri can't...
I'll take both voices.
You want to?
I'll take both voices. They're going to have to listen to my stories.
You know,
Like,
He's gonna die.
I can take Seva. I mean,
How it has the translators, we're doomed!
well, actually, you know what, though? What will happen if the guy who only emotes through his voice has to speak for himself?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you put Yangri with Pout and Chronicle takes the voices, and then Yangri needs to just shut up.
That's hilarious.
All right, I'll do that. You want to do that, Ziggy? You take the 2 voices, I'll take this guy.
I guess.
Here you go.
Like, don't let me railroad this.
Hilarious, I
People.
approve this.
Too late. Why are these bags here? I don't know what they are. I think these are health for you, Wash.
Yeah, they're just spare tokens.
Both of them contain 16s. I'm worried.
No, it's because the set I got goes up to 20.
I'm just gonna be like, so Yangri, what is it like to be a architect?
His voice, because you are traveling as a group. It's very busy and complicated. I'm not sure you'd be able to understand it. Small, squeaky one. Okay. After you guys have formed up, at last, Daria faces the members of the expedition and begins to speak. She's speaking in a tonic, and it doesn't look at you or your wingmates. The speech is for her people. It's inspiring, and if you can understand it, tonight you face the terrors of the past and defeat them. You will reclaim that which the outsiders have taken from us and restore the honor to your house. There is nothing to fear, not even the fire demons seeking redemption. Apparently that's all of you. The Atons cheer, and you begin your descent. The Vault Runners, Namaki and Kaidi, lead the way. Kaidi's chains clinking
cheer
as she moves.
This is nice. It's not every day we get to, like, walk through a vault, just, like, at a leisurely pace. Do you have bells down here that, like, toll the hours or minutes? Because you did say it was the toll of 4 where we had to wake up, but I don't know what time that is.
The young architect, Pratis. Well, if we extended the infrastructure down here, we could support more. Yangri's voice jumps in. We have discussed this, and you will not reveal our infrastructure to outsiders.
If I had intellect cards right now, I would actually want to make a spread to say, oh, if this is the kind of society you're doing just from my backstory, this is probably the infrastructure you're working with, given what I've seen. Unfortunately, I have no intellect cards, and I don't know if you will allow me to do that.
Once again, I'm kind of doing some of the social part of this on fast forward. If anybody wants to learn anything more about a particular member of the expedition, I'm going to say everybody has a chance to learn more about one person right now. It doesn't have to be your buddy if you don't want it to be.
I will hop in, and when he says, you won't reveal our infrastructure to outsiders, I'll say, oh, you mean you don't want them to speak about the plan to drill down and reach the underground water source that I found.
Oof.
Oh, that sounds very reasonable, as long as you're not stealing the water from someone else.
Were you saying that in Elonian, Pyrean, or, well, he wouldn't know Pyrean, or Atonic?
Whichever language he was speaking.
He was, well, it was his voice, so it definitely would have been, he probably would have said it in Atonic, actually.
Okay.
Then I'll say it back in Atonic. And then look to the voices like, are you going to translate that?
He just goes over, his voice goes over, and there's some whispering, and she comes back, and it's like, he would like to offer you a spare water bottle.
That's kind, but I have no need to drink. And then he nods to Kaidi and says, you should offer it to her.
I'm not sure that is the intent of, I am not sure if that is the best idea. She takes the bottle of water out and shakes it a little bit, and you see little orangey flakes of something floating in it.
Poisoned? Is it poison?
Yes.
Pout's thirsty.
I'm going to take the water bottle. Do I know if this is seasoning poison?
Unclear. Probably.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna
What
hold
you
it.
remember of this guy? He probably wouldn't be above, killing a suspicious stranger early in a trip, outside
Okay.
of the public eye,
Oh.
but
I'm gonna look at it, raise, and then look pointedly at him, and then slowly arch an eyebrow.
If you're not going to drink that, I'm really thirsty. Pout reaches out for bottle.
Also, you guys as phoenixes are strong enough that seasoning poisoning wouldn't actually hurt any of you.
But this, you said it might be killing poison.
Unclear.
Unclear.
Pout is still reaching out for it if you're not gonna drink it.
I would like to try to figure out what poison it is.
Easy way to test that. And it's Pout.
You're not taking a wound before we even started.
I get more cards.
Do you really just want to nuke a health level?
I don't care.
Outside of combat, you will have to discard back down to your hand limit.
Oh, damn it. I honestly don't care.
I'll shrug and toss the water bottle to Pout.
I'm gonna offer some to my buddy who I'm traveling with first to see if he wants any. And then I will enjoy
You're
some.
traveling with,
No.
You're traveling with the guy who originally gave it to Salamander.
Oh my god, no, yes. Hand it to him.
I'm gonna be like, you want some?
His voice once again from nearby. Oh, no thank you. It was a gift. We have plenty to spare.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna open up the water bottle, take a few swigs.
It's not great. I know you want it, Izzy. You can take a health level if you want, or you can resist it if you want.
I'll resist it.
Okay. You cannot have this bottle on hand to take wounds whenever you want.
He could already do that. He just needs to stab himself.
I just need to flip my talon. That's true. Yeah. I'm just gonna be looking at this water bottle, just being. I'm just going to look over at Salamander, just be like, in Pyrean, only the finest water they have to offer, I guess. And you just see water starting to ink out of one of my balloon feet as I'm walking, so you hear just a squishing step instead of a squeaky one. So it's like.
I'm going to say in Coriton, oh, now look what you did. What a terrible waste of water.
I'm a water balloon.
And this is why I have the infamous card.
All right.
Okay, so again, just gonna... Well, I think I'm just gonna skip forward a little bit, like I said, because it's almost 9. And if anybody wants more spotlight, let me know.
My main question is asking the two people with me what the difference between a smith and an architect is.
Oh, they'll give you the... yeah, the very short version is the Smiths the Smiths defend everybody from dying and make the weapons, and the architects keep everything running. They keep everyone alive in different ways, and they'll both be very contentious about which one's more important.
I just would be very complimentary to both of them.
Let's see. Over the course of the first leg of the trip, in general, Daria is excited, hungry for a challenge, happy to be a part of an adventure. Yangri is disgusted by the presence of all of you outsiders, and it keeps complaining about you being here, and that the depths are better left alone. The architects of old declared this area forbidden for a reason. Praetus rolls her eyes at a lot of what Yangri is doing and saying, at least what his voice is doing and saying. She doesn't directly argue, but if one of you wants to get more information, she's the one who will tell you that Nirhati is limited by space and resources, and she very much wants the architects to put time and energy into restoring the depths so that you can expand.
I will absolutely ask that as an ignorant outsider.
Kaldi is gloomy and is very sure and very unabashed about the fact that she thinks you're all heading to your death.
I'll reassure her that before she dies, I will die at least 5 times. Because I can do that now.
Omen, I missed you, but the Phoenix's Omen seemed so reasonable and smart until he didn't. And Namaki, the other runner who you guys haven't met before, is just kind of cheerful, competent, focused at the task at hand. There's a lot of VIPs, but this is another day at the office for her.
Okay, I have a bad idea, but I kind of want to do it. Did any of these people speak with Omen directly?
Only Kaidi.
I'm going to ask if she's willing to let me do something to ask a question.
Oh, she kind of looks taken aback.
What
She's
is
the
it
one
you're planning
chained
on
up,
doing?
so
What?
she's the
What
one
is it you're
chained up.
planning on doing? Oh, sorry.
Seeing whether or not one of the shrouded powers I picked up is the reason why he seemed so charismatic to them.
So it's something you're doing to yourself?
No, it's definitely something I would be doing to someone, and that's why Hunter's asking permission.
Mm.
She'd prefer not to. I don't think anybody's gonna volunteer for it, unfortunately. They're all still
Wait.
pretty distrustful of Phoenix's.
No, I saw Omen, and he
Oh,
can do
that's
it
true.
free.
Yeah.
Okay, if Salamander volunteers...
Yeah, Salamander volunteers. I trust you.
Okay, the better question is, what is something Salamander wouldn't normally do so Hunter can test this?
Breathe.
Okay, so Hunter is going to walk up to Salamander and attempt to be very convincing, but more importantly, stare directly into his eyes and use mind trick to try and convince him that he really needs to breathe right now and ask, is that what Omen sounded like?
I take it I breathe. That freaks me out. Is that similar to what Omen sounded like?
Not to you, but I mean, there was a hint of the accent when he was talking to the expedition leader.
Oh, so there's like an accent to it when she talks like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Okay. I'll say
in the box.
I'll say apparently he didn't need to persuade me, but I think he persuaded the expedition leader.
Okay, so at least some confirmation about what's going on.
As you're carefully descending along a narrow shaft, about a 30-foot drop, perhaps it was... Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting tripped up on words. Just going to start over. Here we go. You're carefully descending along a narrow shaft, about a 30-foot drop. Perhaps it was a well, or maybe... Sorry. Perhaps it was a well, or maybe there used to be a platform allowing people to rise and descend. Now you're using ropes and spikes. Namaki is providing instructions to the others. You have a far easier time of it than the mortals. Which one of you reaches the lower chamber first?
Probably me or...
It's either me or Count.
It's whoever
Not
wants to.
What?
Not
Whoever wants to.
Yeah.
How do you just jump?
I mean, I could. I'm made of balloons now, so...
I feel like I beat you if you don't just jump, but otherwise you beat me.
Yeah, I'll just drop on in, Wash.
Okay.
It is trying to do a good job of connecting people, so he's not going to run ahead.
Pout belly flops down the shaft.
Ha! You said shaft.
He breaks his ribs.
I don't have those anymore. Do you know how many times I've already died?
You could have balloon ribs. They might pop.
They just reinflate.
They're just gonna squeak.
Yeah, you... Geronimo! Squeak! Pout stands back up.
It takes you like 5 minutes to fall because you're full of air.
God, I need to have a giant dog fight you just so he can treat you as a fucking chew toy.
That dog will die miserably, and you know
Gosh,
it.
giant fox. It's a canine.
As you make it to the bottom pout, if you would like to, you may make a grace spread.
What is the grace spread for?
We're boned.
The shadows, scouting, or observation apply.
We're maybe not boned.
I guess I'll make a shadows spread. Is there an environmental thing I can use?
No, there's no environment torch for this one.
I only have one grace card, and it's a 2.
Oh.
So, oh well. Here,
Be right back. Phone call. Sorry.
Here's a 2, and I'm like looking around, like trying to see through the shadows. Just be like, as I squeak up, and I'm like, huh, what's going on down here? Squeak. I think that makes like a 7 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a 7.
Okay. I'll draw back up.
Yep.
Oh, great. That card.
So, as you squeak, you look around and kind of blink a little bit. Your eyes are maladjusted from being with the group that has a little bit more light into pitch darkness, until suddenly your retinas burn for a second. A dozen figures step out of the shadows, catching you and your expedition in the beams of hooded lanterns. They're Atons, diverse in age and gender. One of them is a boy who can't be much older than 10. Some of them carry staves or rods, but unless they have powers they haven't revealed, they don't seem like much of a threat. They're surrounding you and saying things in Atonic Izzy. They don't seem to want to let you go.
Greetings. Does anyone speak Common? Or Pyrean? Or other old dead language that I probably spoke in life that no one else would rightfully know how to speak?
Nope, none of that. They basically have you surrounded in a circle of staves and sticks. There's no like sharp ends or swords or like legitimate metal weapons or anything like that. They're like keeping you in the center threateningly.
Oh shit!
The rest of you all make it down now, slowly, one at a time. As you guys get down, Daria draws her engraved greatsword. She could probably drive this mob off on her own if she wanted to. If there's something specific you want to say while everybody's filtering down, they're basically just trying to keep you corralled threateningly and talking in a tonic, Izzy.
Do you guys want to see a magic trick?
Oh no.
So,
boy.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a Popeye trick where I hold up one hand, I put it to my lips, I blow into it, and my hand like triples in size, and then I just kind of do the wave, and it travels up through my arm, into my chest, and over to the other hand. And I just do that a few times in a very fun, placating, not at all intimidating manner.
Oh, totally. Most of them are still terrified. In fact, many of them more so.
Look, trust me, I've died more than almost everybody else here combined at this point. Please put your sticks down. I'm gonna like take one stick and I'm just gonna like push it a little bit lower so it's like not at my head.
So one of them speaks. One of these people speaks before the entire expedition writ large gets sort of organized and together enough to have a coherent response. She has short white hair and large blue eyes. And she says, "Turn back before you cause greater damage. Bad enough that you have breached the forbidden tunnels, Smith. Bringing these outsiders is an insult the spirits will not bear."
What language is that spoken in?
It doesn't specify, so I'm going to go with a tonic.
So I don't.
Pout has someone screaming in his face.
The voices will translate for you guys.
Do I know her?
Not. No, you're not sure who this is. You can probably, depending on how much of the society stuff we worked on / read together, you might be able to intuit what's going on here.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here.
Yeah. Begone, you rats! Oh, wait, no, sorry. That is actually Daria. Begone, you rats, and take your superstitions with you. Or hold your ground and die. It doesn't make any difference to us.
Hunter's just going to assign to someone who looks like they know what's going on, which is to say probably Praetus or Salamander. Who are these people?
I'm forgetting the formal name. Speakers.
Voices of the Deep.
Voices of the Deep. They speak for the things that live down here that aren't people.
Wait, there are things down here that aren't people that speak.
Yes. You have plenty of those where you come from too.
Mountain are not to be disturbed.
I thought you didn't deal with the fallen. Okay.
We don't. We have spirits in the deep. They've always been here.
Spirits.
Also, you don't have the specialties for it, Nick, I don't think, but spirits and fallen are different.
This is why Hunter's assuming they're the same.
Excellent. Sorry for interrupting you, Izzy.
All good. I have nothing of value to contribute.
Okay, if no one else is going to, I will attempt a social spread for this.
Okay.
Is Salamander getting in the way? Because this is definitely Salamander's time to get in the way before Hunter does something dumb and shoves her foot in her mouth.
I don't know that I can, but I would look to Daria and say, have you considered making peace with them? I believe that they want the same thing we want, which is no more death down here.
She kind of rolls her eyes, and her voice is like, they're just going to be underfoot and in the way, and they're more cautious than useful.
Alright, sounds like I'm going for it.
Attitudes aren't going to change on either side until a check is made.
Right, making a check. Because, fuck it, someone has to.
What is your goal?
Hunter's argument is, there has been a wrong that has happened. What we have come to do is not disturb the spirits or make any other deals, but to right that which is wrong and pacify and quell those who have been offended, those who have been antagonized. I'm just going to need translators for this, but she's going to absolutely try.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are not coming on, we want to agitate the spirits and or kill them. We are coming on, we want to quell any problems and appropriately make amends to what has happened. First off, I'm playing inspiring on this.
I like that.
And second off, Hunter thinks that she's going in to deal with Fallen, which is why I'm playing Haunted.
Like, oh, there's spirits we could disturb. Not again.
Yeah, not again. I know where this goes.
I will say that inspiring is a 4. Yeah, a 4. And haunted's a 2.
All right.
It's very relevant to Hunter, but less relevant to these people.
Sure. Hey, does anyone want to discard a card and draw a new one to replace it to boost that 2 into something higher?
Boost it to what?
I get a boost equal to the card you discard. This is
Take
to any
another 2.
player.
I'll just, I can give you a 2.
Could you give me higher than that?
I can give you a 3.
I will accept a 3 if no one has a better offer, because we're probably going to want to make this good.
I mean, I can also use share strength to also give you a 2. Actually,
We
it's
may
also a 3.
also want that, but just do the 3 first.
Okay, so here's the 3.
All right, so I'm at 9. Do both those count for valid stunts? Which is honestly mostly irrelevant given my hand right now, but...
Both the cards? Yeah.
All right, does this count as resolve? Because I feel like this counts as resolve for...
I was actually thinking about what you were saying and was going to give you Traveler.
I'll also take Traveler. I'm happy about that. So that's a 5. I feel like I can add another 7 to that without... Because, like, one of these is Grace and one of these counts as Grace Woman. I'm changing my D20 to where I'm at right now.
I can give you another 2.
1 minute. Oh, no. We lost 2. We lost 2 players.
Huh.
Timing out from not doing anything.
So we're at 14. I'm at 21 right now before you boost me further.
All right, well, I'll give you... Well, there I go. I got disconnected.
Hope everybody's enjoying the more social session.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I absolutely am.
Yeah, I'll give you another 2.
Need to... Fuck it. 25. I burned a spark to make it up to get it up to 25.
25. Okay. This argument's honestly probably going to work very well on the voices. And the and Yangri, the architect, and Pradis is... She doesn't like it, but she sees the wisdom in it. It's like, I hate that you're right, but we shouldn't fucking hillbillies. That kind of thing.
If there's a chance for her to say, it's more important that there is not bloodshed than we eat crow.
The speaker's spokesperson is... If you must go in this matter of honor, I can accompany you and perform the requisite rituals and spells to keep your damage to a minimum. And I will have your word that you will disturb as little as possible.
This is where Hunter is going to actually say, I'm going to refer to my cultural expert, aka Salamander. Just brief glance, yay, nay.
I'm going to nod heavily to it.
Very well, we'll disturb as little as we can, but there is a wrong that must be righted. I'm assuming this is another buddy.
Yep.
Well, fuck us.
Hooray!
Very well. Where are we going?
Man, so many people are
You
going to
can take
die
your
this session.
Yeah, probably.
Buddy.
If you're not afraid of death, you could come with Pout.
Ironically, a bunch of us don't appear like phoenixes yet to that person.
Okay. Pacing, yada yada yada. I have a feeling I know where we're going to end tonight, but we've got time yet.
Oh boy.
Okay, you guys are going to be traveling for a few days through pitch darkness, led by 2 runners and a voice of the deep who will occasionally bat somebody with like a stick that has like mushroom stuffed pillows on it. And be like, no, and then she'll like insist on going forward doing a dance, sometimes like pouring oils into a puddle, stuff like that. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes there's little shoots of light that go up runes that you couldn't see in the wall before. Sometimes there's just a grumbling in the distance. Sometimes nothing happens. It's a
I'm
great time.
keeping watch for those ruins after the first time they appeared when I didn't notice them. But otherwise, honestly, Hunter's probably being like, so Daria and Prates, but mostly trying to make friends with the buddies that I have.
Mm-hmm. The thing I was actually going to say next is if everybody wants to describe one obstacle, object, threat, problem that your Phoenix personally helps or completely resolves on the way down.
Oh, I've got an easy one. So, as we're traveling forward, we notice that there's been a recent cave-in that's blocking our immediate path in front of us. So Pout's going to, step forward, crack what's left of his neck, and say, "I've got this." And then he is going to rear back and kick his foot underneath the pile of rocks, hold up his hand, start blowing into his thumb, and his foot is just going to inflate until all the rocks kind of part away.
Nice. It's a golf clap. Yeah, actually, what is atonic laughter, or not laughter, applause, Salamander? I didn't think about that.
Clapping makes sense because it doesn't waste air and it makes a lot of noise.
Pout will take a bow and say, "If you die half a dozen times, you can do that too." And then continue into the darkness.
The power is yours.
The pout is yours.
Oh, the powder. What does everybody else do?
Alright, so at one point, basically we trigger an indie trap. Like, we're going through tunnels, suddenly there is a click on the floor, everyone looks up, there is a boulder enough to smush everyone rolling down, because this was a big tunnel. People panic, Hunter just goes, "Alright, no. This is not happening." Stands up, hefts her talon, and then just, as is coming in, smashes into it, shattering the boulder and sending the fragments flying back up the tunnel.
That's probably how the cave-in happened in the first place.
Oh, there's ricocheting noises echoing off ad infinitum. In fact, over the next 4 hours, you just hear a crack, and then realize that it's probably just a noise echoing back from a wall somewhere.
And whenever a shard shows up, whoever the shard is heading towards just finds it basically finds Hunter right next to them and just blocks or catches the shard before it hits them.
Cool.
I took perfect reflexes. Hunter is absolutely defending everyone from random attacks like that.
How long does it take to heal a wound naturally?
Phoenixes, I forget exactly how many they get back every dawn. I forget. I think it's 1.
I will double check because I'm near that part of the...
Yes, it is your rank in sparks back. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 1 wound per day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As the sun rises, which is a period that you guys will all always know because you're phoenixes.
I'm just going...
You cut out.
Are you saying something, Izzy?
I was just going to say, assume I'm always spending 4 sparks at the beginning of each day if we're on this expedition for several days.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, as we're moving through the tunnel, there is yet another cave-in because these are not the best tunnels. That's why we don't live here yet. And it looks like it's going to be next to impossible to get out. And Salamander just calmly walks to the middle of the room and his eyes cloud over and he just drains completely pale. Like he looks like a corpse. And then all of a sudden the shadows start moving in the shapes of people and they start helping to clear the way. And that's what my curse thing does, I have decided. I
I
have
like it.
spirits hanging out with me.
You've got friends on the earth.
The other side.
You are
He's
so...
got friends.
Chronicle?
Let's see. I'd, I'd probably just be, I'd probably just be bothering Theus and Goro with just like asking them about their history and like what they've been doing down here for so long, and like just kind of figuring out how they survived these years here.
They'll answer plenty of general society questions, and they'll tell you all the stories about how terrible all the other vaults are, and how unimpeachable Nearhatti is, and how great and gigantic it is. Even though you've seen a surface city, there's people down here. They're not thriving per se. They're not They're not going to tell you how any of the runes and stuff work. They're a little too close guarded for that. But they'll be happy to tell you their biased version.
I mean, I know, I'm sure I can take that into account, but yeah. But learning about general society and history is good.
I like it. And I suppose Bit.
So I think Bit is able to basically use some random piece of knowledge that he picked up to ward off a den of these strange venomous mole creatures that sometimes lurk in the depths of these tunnels.
Oh god. Underground ROUSs?
So, if you would like, I would even take something from the next text block. Yeah, actually, ROUSs are explicitly in it.
Oh boy.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I think that's everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Hours pass as you descend through the tunnels and canyons. There are creatures in the darkness, rodents of unusual size, and glowing worms that gnaw through stone. But
Those
you're
are
able to
supposed to
drive
be-
off any beasts that threaten you. You carefully cross crumbling platforms, leap over chasms. Namaki is an excellent guide, and with his help you overcome obstacles in your path. Eventually, you make your way to a massive complex. While it has suffered from looting and decay, there is a sense of sturdy austerity to its design. It feels like a fortress or a prison, bare and functional. Kaidi is growing increasingly nervous. Bit notices that she is sweating in her chains.
Isn't it? Having been around Daria, Hunter would ask the question: is it possible for that to go away? Because that's actually a major, like, that's a problem if we get into a fight. The chains,
Who are you talking to about that?
Daria.
The penalty for cowardice is imprisonment. When her turn is done, she will be released, or if she, or upon the conclusion of this adventure.
Must that continue while it could hamper our ability to properly do battle?
Well, you fire demons, which is actually the word the voice is using, are always so proud of your prowess, and I am a smith of House Nerandi. I think we can handle anything that comes our way.
Well, I mean, I'm confident in our abilities, but not in confident in our ability to succeed.
You're punishing her for cowardice when everyone else died. I can assure you, having died from that exact event, that running was the intelligent thing to do.
She's just Kaidi is kind of shivering, and the sweating is much more noticeable now in the torchlight. It's kind of a sheen.
Are you all right?
We're getting close, and you would have recognized this too, Salamander. You guys are you took a different route in a few spots. Definitely some of the you didn't have to deal with some of the same obstacles, and some new ones were in their places, but you're getting close to where you died the first time.
I break her manacles.
How would you do so? It's probably a strength check is the thing.
No, I would use my pyromancy to create a tiny acetylene torch on my finger.
Hmm.
And then cut it at the major joints so that at least she's not, like, hobbled.
Daria is going to be drawing her sword at that. This thing. I see. You no longer live in our halls. You no longer respect our laws.
You no longer respect my citizenship. So why would I?
Can't trust a phoenix.
I'm just going to turn to Bit and say, I'm sensing hostility. Are you getting that sense, or is it just me? Bit? Oh, he's not here. Great. Chronicle, are you sensing...
I didn't catch the last thing that was said.
Oh no, it's okay. It's perfectly reasonable that like I turn and I'm like trying to talk to you and you're just not there. You're somewhere else entirely. I was like, I'm sensing some hostility here. Do you get that, or is it just me? Bit? Chronicle, is Bit really a person, or are you guys just pulling this over on me every couple of lives?
I do believe he is a real person.
To Daria, you said the punishment was imprisonment, yes?
Yes, as is fitted. And often hard labor, which is being used currently. We don't really have... It's not fitting that punishment be just arrest. The Atan has use for all.
Were we in a fight? That pointing to the amount of the lack of mobility on the, I'm assuming like ankle chains,
Mm-hmm.
is more a punishment of death than imprisonment. Is that not unfair?
Kaide's kind of, at this point, going down to the ground, once again being close to a very dramatic experience. It's like, it's okay. We're all gonna die. It's okay. Be over soon.
I have attempted
Whispering
to
to herself in a tonic.
the knowledge of like trying to make friends with these people and understand what the hell they're about for like, if punishments are meant to be a certain thing, then they ought to be that thing and not something higher than it. I'm trying to appeal to her sense of honor and justice.
I'm gonna go hold Kaidi.
Okay. So I'm going to have both of you make spreads. Sorry, I'm scrolling to different parts of the thing here. Salamander, you get to make a grace spread. I'm going to just, based on your backstory with this person, I'm just going to give you a flat +10 to it base. Nick, you're trying to make a sort of persuasion, right?
That's probably also a grace spread, in all honesty.
It almost certainly is.
Basically, Hunter's argument is if you are an honorable person and the punishment is imprisonment / hard labor, then you should not impede someone for like doing their labor, and certainly not increase their punishment to in the event that something threatening like points out the several things that were threatening that we encounter on here that would be certain death to someone impaired.
Okay. I don't think any of your specialties apply on this one, but I'm looking forward to seeing any traits you want to throw in.
My main one is Survivor for, like, boy, has Hunter seen a bunch of shit for... That's rough to actually survive and know what
go ahead
people
and
can
throw that in as a 5. Does anybody else want to throw traits on any of these checks as an assist?
Great, because I'm at 18 right now. I will burn sparks on this, but...
I'll give you another 2.
Okay, so that's 20 for Hunter's argument of, look, I'm not a member of your society, but even by your own rules, this is unjust and dishonorable. Let alone other people's.
Okay. So I'm just going to kind of use both of these checks to determine a few things at once. So I would like
So
to
can I pitch my stun?
go for it.
So I've got a base of 5 and then the 10 bonus for 15. And I'm playing Master Plan because Teddy and I have run together before. So I'm going to be like, hey, remember that one time when we came down here and we got trapped at the bottom of that well and you thought that there was no way out and I got us out of it? This is like that. And I'm going to walk her through everything that I know about this situation. And like tell her maybe a little bit more than I should, strictly speaking, about what we know about this. And say, I am going to get you through this.
That is strong. Okay. So I think what happens is, first of all, you are slowly going to get Kaede back to a stable kind of position. She still doesn't have the best outlook, but she trusts you. And she knows that if this is going to mean anything, she's got to not be a ball at the ground. She's going to kind of take a few minutes, get her bearings, and eventually stand back up. While that is happening, Nick, Hunter, and Daria are having a bit of a debate, very pointed about justice and honor. And I think what the end result was 20, right?
The end result was 20.
Yeah. So I think what's going to happen is, very well, we will remove this restraints. But should she run again, the price is her life. And you will and you will add it to your debt to my house.
I just say that will be my debt, not the debt of...
No, like the Phoenixes as a whole, because of this whole expedition and Omen and everything.
Mm-hmm. Can I play that will be a personal debt or no?
I'm gonna go with yes, because you've been yeah. That means she might try and kill you if Kaede runs away.
Sure, I accept this. This is exactly the sort of idealist my character is.
Excellent. Okay, you guys can break the. You guys can break off the words. You guys can break off the manacles. And sorry, one more time. What was your full result, Salamander?
I don't know how much master plan counted for.
This is really good. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay, then it's a 19 total.
19
Spend a
total.
spark, get 20.
I would have really wanted it to work. So
Okay, good. Because Kaidi does not, with a 20, Kaidi does not bolt while she is near a place where she watched you die. Okay.
now she can watch me die 6 more times.
Hooray!
Yay!
We're great at this. This will in no way come back to bite us.
Nope.
It's an investment in less trauma now for more trauma later. At last, you come to a vast oval door. At least you think it's a door. You can't see hinges or any way to open it. Both this panel and its frame are covered with runic inscriptions. The runes you saw above were inlaid in a silvery metal. These are traced out in a glowing vermilion crystal. Varia, the speaker, will just kind of go over and tap at those with a stick and be like, "Ah, a sign of the spirit's blessing." And Pretis will just, come on.
No, it's good to be blessed by spirits.
No. Yeah, Yangri. Beginner mistake. These must clearly serve an important function. They outlast other things. They were better maintained and more stable. And that is once again through his voice.
You're very good at speaking without using your mouth hole.
You're very good at squeaking without using... No, wait. I don't know where I was going with that.
Got him.
I have lots of holes. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Kaide looks nervous again, and yeah. And Salamander, you were here. This is the door. You died on the other side of it.
Why are you all looking so nervous? It's just a door. Pout's gonna go up and try pushing on the door.
It does not
looks
move.
nauseous and grabs his stomach.
I'm gonna go make sure Salamander's not poisoned.
So
He'll look embarrassed and wave you off.
If nobody else intervenes while you guys are figuring this out, Yangri and Praetus are going to kind of study the pattern and the runes. Varia is starting to do her spirits thing, and she's starting to chant a prayer to deep spirits. You will also notice during this that Yangri even uses his voice to speak to Praetus, someone who is in the same caste as him, but technically lower ranked.
Okay, Hunter's actually looking to the people who are smart in the party to figure out what the hell's going on.
Hang on, could you repeat that last bit? I'm sorry.
The architects are checking out the door. Varia is doing chanting and deep and speakers of the deep rituals, and Yangri is fucking using his voice to talk to the other young architect Praetus. They're the same caste. He's higher ranked. It's kind of a dick move. Also, now that you're down deeper, the voices are trying to be more economical with words, but they're still very much the chattiest of the Atani natives here.
Wait, Praetus isn't if Hunter gives her a second to ask about magic and then display ice magic?
Sorry, what was the preamble to that?
I was questioning whether or not Praetus was chatty during the trip down.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She's very inquisitive.
Great, I'm the wrong person to ask about how any of this works. The answer is, well, I think cold in my hand and then ice appears.
I mean, I can investigate it, but my spread is absolute garbage right now.
Well, it's better than nothing.
It's better than mine.
It's 4 1s and a 3.
One of those ones may be super applicable.
Oh, sorry, I grabbed the closest clock.
Also, when Salamander kills over, Hunter's be like, Salamander, I'm not sure if this is memories of what's going on or you've been poisoned. Let me know which so I can help you.
He doesn't keel over, he just kind of like grabs his stomach and looks nauseous. On account of having been run through the stomach here before.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Hunter's question is this memories of what happened or have you been poisoned?
Memories. I'm too smart for that, I don't drink anymore.
I can't really help you with that, but let me know if you think of a way I can.
Besides, Yangri only uses bitch poison. It didn't even kill Pout.
Yeah. All right. So,
why am I always the example?
I mean, I can try it with the spread. See what happens. I assume this is intellect.
Very much so.
Not that it really matters. All I have is trait cards.
Spirits will apply here.
All right. So I'll use Warlock, Spirits. I'll use, since it's all I have, Shrug It Off and Commander, because it's to deal with poison, and because I'm trying to approach this from a leader's perspective.
Sorry, I misunderstood. So what exactly you're trying to help out with the poison?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. It's okay. I'm reading things.
It's all right. I mean, I could do another spread after that, but mostly I want to deal with the poison first, if only to get rid of this god-awful
That's healing
hand.
then. That is healing then.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, then in that case, I'll change out Warlock for Savior. Let's see. And I could draw 1 card. So do that.
I'm gonna say Commander's a 2. Savior will be a solid 4. So wait, you. How did I lose track of this? Who got poisoned?
No one.
I was questioning whether or not Salamander was poisoned because he said sometimes people poison each other for.
Yes,
shits
we are so far off on a tangent right now. That has nothing to do with what's going on.
Oh, for God's sake! All right, fine. Okay, never mind then. I'm gonna see if I can figure out the other thing then. So
Okay.
I'll go with Warlock. So Warlock, and I can use one. I'll use this as my intellect card.
That is the thing that Spirits, the Arcane, and or Spycraft apply to.
Gotcha. Okay, so then this is it. Actually, let's replace Shrug It Off with Exorcist.
Okay. What is your total?
So that's 4. What did you say these 3 things count as?
So let's see. Commander, I think, is going to be a 2, kind of coordinating things. Warlock's going to be a 3 because what you really want here is Shaman.
Okay, so 9, and then Exorcist.
Exorcist is a 2.
All right, so that is 11 plus 5 from Spirits is 16, plus a spark for 21.
21.
Nice.
Okay. So there is a minor spirit bound to this door. It's a guardian. It's not exactly sentient, but it does have some friend or foe triggers, and a trap if an enemy opens the door.
A trap opens the door?
There's a trap if an enemy opens the door.
Oh.
You will notice this as Praetus, with a look of triumph, just kind of goes, "Aha!" and starts reaching forward.
Stop! Can I try to, like, reach out and communicate to the spirit to let us through?
It's not sentient.
I mean, is there, like, an energy or something? Like, some aura I can resonate with it or something?
Oh, you know what? Okay. With the warlock trait that you used, now that you know what you're dealing with, that is a trump for this next check, as it turns out. I just hadn't gotten through reading that yet.
Oh.
You figure out. Actually, you know what? Tell me how to successfully trick this spirit into thinking that you guys are friendly. You succeed because of warlock.
Okay. I mean, I would probably, like I said, kind of like mask our auras to match, like, the friendly, what would be considered friendly by this spirit.
Let's see. So it's... How do I answer that without spoilers? Some... it's looking for some type of authority.
I guess I'll project whatever that authority might be.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having trouble thinking of things to help you with that aren't giving stuff away.
Right.
Wait, who opened the door the last time I was here?
Omen.
I'm gonna tell Chronicle that maybe it wants one of us to open it. Like, a like, just as a suggestion.
You know what? Here we go. Somehow the expectation is that people don't go in here alone. It is always at least one person of authority and one person without. Does that help?
Is there? I assume that there's an authority that I know of that I can speak as.
Yeah.
I will be right back, Bio, because Hunter is in no way an authority.
I'm gonna say Githulki is something that it's a word you don't know what it means. Sometimes it came up during your misspent youth when talking to some of the fallen.
And
But you see a symbol of it in the door when kind of looking around with the architects.
Then I will speak Githilti and enter.
Oh no, scrolled too far and too deep. And we already did the voices of the deep. Okay. The wall reacts. There is a flash of light. And everything just kind of... There's a smell of ozone as everyone's hair stands on end for a moment. And then the door starts to swing silently like a whisper open. Beyond the door, there is a short hallway. Crystal spheres cast a dim, rosy light, and the air is fresh and cool. Walls and floors are formed of smooth white stone with lines of crystal tracery running through it like veins. The hall ends a second rune-carved door.
I will walk in if no one
Okay.
else is going to.
Immediately, no, nothing happens.
Nothing happened. Keeps walking forward. Takes notice of the silvery things on the wall. But still has no idea what they are compared to what they were above, and continues walking on towards the door in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You proceed to the door in the back, uneventfully. Well, as uneventfully as a balloon clown can be. It can be.
Yeah. Alright, assuming someone's following me in, I'm going to just open that door and see what's inside.
It is locked. It will not budge.
Locked as in the door is sealed, or like there's a doorknob and it's physically locked?
It is. There's no doorknob. It will not budge. It has different but similar runes to the first door inlaid on it as well.
Chronicle, you think you can figure this one out too?
Try it. Is there anything I
So,
needed?
with your check from before, you can see that there's more runes and stuff on this one. The system is different. This one doesn't have a guardian spirit or anything of that nature. It's linked through the silver to the first door. It's almost like safety or an airlock. This door won't open while the previous door is open.
I see. Yeah. It's it is an airlock mechanism. We will all have to pass through and close the door, or at least leave one of us. No, yeah, we would have to leave at least one of us behind, more likely, to open the door for us when we return.
Can we all fit?
The architects, once you point this system out to them, by the way, will, yes, and you can all fit inside if you want to, are extremely confident that they can reopen the outer door by closing the inner door again. They have the know-how. They can do it.
All right, then there shouldn't be any problem.
Although Kaidi very much does not want to go through the inner door.
If she wants to stay behind just in case, then that's fine.
She's the one who is still shackled, though, right? So
you guys got the shackles off her.
Yeah, but she's not. They're not going to let her stay behind.
Well, I mean, if the inner door,
yeah,
if she basically wants to stay in the middle or outside. They're going to be cranky about her staying outside, but you guys got a good enough check that if you want to, you can leave her outside fully.
I'm going to defer to Salamander on this one because he actually knows any of the shit that's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna pull her aside and have a quiet conversation with her where I start with the point, I do not know what is around here. We have a voice of the deep with us. We have 5 of us who can take a lot more damage than any living person. I think it's safer if you stay with us.
She really doesn't like it, but she trusts you.
I'm not going to force you, but I think that it is safer if you stay with us.
You're going to be the reason she dies.
Yeah, but I don't trust Wash.
She's just gonna kind of put her hands around her wrists and kind of turn them back as if, rubbing some of the ache of the manacles out. And look at you, and look at Daria, look back at you, and just give you a nod. And then give you the sign with a very determined look on her face for enough air.
Bless this woman. All right, let's go.
Okay. Do you guys close yourselves in and open the next door?
Mhm.
Hell yes.
Okay. Beyond the door is a short hallway. Crystal spheres cast a dim, rosy light, and the air is fresh and cool. Walls and the floor are formed of smooth white stone with lines of crystal tracery running through it like veins. The hall ends at a second rune carved door. Oh, well, wait. Yeah, I said that part already. I got mixed up which section I was on. I am getting tired. Here we go. Once the outer door is closed, the inner door slides open at your approach. A large chamber lies beyond, with the same smooth white walls and dim rosy light. It's a barren room, but two things stand out. A stone pedestal rises up from the floor in the center of the room. It's covered with glittering runes. 3 crystal pillars are set around it. The pillars are formed of a pale violet crystal, and each is about a foot in diameter. They run between the floor and ceiling, but they don't seem strong enough to provide much structural support. The room has a single exit, a doorway directly across from the door in which you entered.
Pout's gonna ignore all the shiny stuff because he doesn't know what to do with it and go and see if that door is also locked.
I'm gonna also go up and be looking out for traps and kick Pout out of the way if he's about to step on an obvious pressure plate.
Okay, give me a intellect, grace, spread, Nick, observation, scouting, both apply.
Great, I have scouting. That's 5, 10, 15, 19, 20.
Okay. Very nice. In the dim light, it's easy to miss small details. A few things catch your eye when you look more closely, though. There are gouges on the podium and the wall. Small marks, but damage that could only be caused by a metal weapon or a tool. In addition, a few small objects sit hidden on the floor against the base of the pillars and pedestal. A brooch of Aten design, belt buckle, and a small knife with blunted edges. What's everybody's immediate action?
Going to check the door.
Yep.
We
Over to
examine
that
the
pillar
knife.
and take a closer look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll examine the knife.
Nice.
I'm expecting traps. I'm keeping watch for I need to tackle someone out of the way of an arrow or a lightning bolt or whatever the fuck happens down here.
Chronicle?
I guess I can also examine the knife.
Okay. And I forget. What did you say, Salamander?
I'm gonna go look at the pillar.
Okay. So you guys start to look around. The pillar has lots and lots of runes in it. Like I said, made of crystal. They seem dormant, not active, but it looks like they can channel lots of power. This is denser script than anything in the upper city. The knife that you guys are looking at It's extremely blunted, but only selectively. It looks like somebody was trying to use it on stone? It's the only thing that could make sense for this. The door on the other side of the room is sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd I forget? Shit.
No, that's all of it.
Oh, that's everyone?
That's everyone.
Okay.
Unless there's a trap that Hunter is knocking someone out of.
Gora announces Nirava Yangri wishes to examine this object, and Yangri strides forward towards the pedestal.
Does it immediately try to murder him?
Oh. The rosy light suddenly falters, and darkness falls across the room. You hear the door sliding shut behind you. Barely a second later, the light returns. But by then, you have other concerns. You feel a pulsing vibration in your nerves, some type of silent alarm system. The crystal pillars pulse with light, and you're caught in a burst of sparks. No, not sparks. Tiny creatures, formed of energy, swarming all around you and trying to dig into your flesh.
Flash freeze, because I was like, something's gonna go wrong.
Well, I think this is actually a good time to pause because we can do the...
Yeah.
But we have a great spot to pick up next week. This is kind of where I was hoping we would end. And...
Well, good luck, everyone.
Actually, real quick, I'm just going to set a little bit of stuff out here. I hope everybody enjoyed a little bit more of the social session.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody put your tokens out if that's okay.
Puts the tokens out. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did... Oh, mine's already out here.
And I'm just going to make a pile here. Everybody...
Oh dear, that's a lot.
Everybody,
That is a lot.
please take and place upon yourself. Where is it? Everybody, please take one level 6 health level for yourself and each buddy you're carrying.
Rip.
Each of them is a swarm.
good.
Is it just defense 0 or 6?
It depends. You'll find out.
Right.
Rude.
Wash, how is this going to work considering I'm not here next week?
Shit, that's actually a good point.
Likewise.
Does Pout just get devoured?
So we could skip next week to avoid continuity of errors, but that does mean next week will be... if anybody needs to sign off, great game tonight, everybody. I have fun. Words. Where is it? Where was I going with this? Are we still recording?
Yes. Do you want me to stop?
Okay. That would be good.
Sure. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
We don't even know
Good
what we're
night.
calling this session yet.
Yeah, I'm going to head out.